So, thanks for all your info. You've given us, you shared some really good info today. I really appreciate that. I learned a few things. I love it. I love it when people teach me stuff.
Yeah.
I do not know everything. That is for damn sure. So I pulled some screen grabs off your website because I really like your site. It's very simple to read. And once again, your website is
solarservicepro.com.
That's a great website.
Yeah.
So easy to remember.
It's what we do. We service solar and we're professionals.
There you go.
Solar service professionals.
And whatever you do, don't call Manny the CEO. It brings back memories.
Yeah.
All right. So looking at what you guys offer, system repair. So
Yep.
give me a brief explanation what that is.
So we fix broken solar system. As a home inspector, you should, when you don't go into the solar like you were saying, right?
Right.
But you should see if the solar breaker, the one with the red sticker, is on or off.
Yep. Okay.
And if it's on, does it lead to some kind of solar inverter equipment?
Okay.
And if that is solar, for all my home inspectors out there, or homeowners, most inverters that are on the wall will have a screen and error codes and lights saying green is good, producing power, red is bad, it's broken, service alert.
Okay.
So if you see error codes or a service error or something on the screen that it's supposed to be intuitive that says, hey, this isn't working, it's a red light, then call solar service professionals.
Okay, cool. And it also says you do back to the system repair. So that's one thing you're giving a tip to home inspectors what to look for. But in general, what is a common thing with a broken solar system? The breaker's off?
The inverter has failed.
Okay.
So inverter units are units that convert the electricity from the DC solar power of the panels to AC power that your microwave and your house uses.
That's way too complicated. Okay, so let's make it simpler for people.
So
the sun is captured by the panels. And then
it's DC power.
Then the inverter converts that to power.
To AC power.
Right. Okay.
So they're both power. They both kill you, right? But one's DC and one's AC.
AC and DC.
That's right.
AC/DC is my favorite band.
That's right.
It's my favorite band.
So most homeowners from 10 years ago that got the system 10 years ago have this huge equipment or appliance hanging off the side of the wall. Mm-hmm. You've probably seen them in your inspections. They'll have a red light or a green light. If they have a red light and some kind of error message on there, or it's just not how it usually looks, that's a problem.
It's like a furnace. Sometimes they have error codes and stuff like that.
That's right. Oh, and they only last 10 years.
The inverters.
Although the solar panels last 25 years, the inverters only last 10 years. So right now, we're in 2023. I'm replacing inverters from 2013.
Is there a way to look at those inverters? Is there a serial number that I can decipher the age of it?
Yep. On
does it just say the date?
It says the date,
nice.
or it does have a code that you have to decipher, and it'll tell you the week and the year that it was made.
It's like a water heater.
As a home inspector, the thing that you should do is look for that sticker, take a photo of it, and sometimes the sticker's on the left side, right side, or bottom. Take a sticker of it and include that in the report, and it'll generally tell you.
We can't do that.
Oh, you can't include this.
If I'm not reporting on a system, I don't report on any of it.
Oh, you don't even include it.
Because
so you wouldn't even have it has a solar and this is the model.
I let my customers know right up front when they hire me.
Why is that?
I do not touch solar because I don't know enough about it. I don't have a way to test it. I can't tell you if it's going to work. If like you said that your backup battery source is going to work. I can't tell you any of that. I don't have tools for that.
Right. Well, why not just say like air conditioner?
I can refer you.
Well, like an air conditioner, this is an Armada, or this is a good.
That's part of my job is to report on the heating and cooling system,
but not the solar at all. Yeah, makes sense. You don't want to open yourself.
Of course, but from my own knowledge, us home inspectors are like very nosy about stuff. So we want to look at. I like to know about stuff even though I don't inspect it because I'm just learning. Mm-hmm. That's a common thing that we do.
Do you give homeowners informal info like, hey, this is the sticker if you want to look it up and call the manufacturer?
If they ask,
okay, and if they're present,
sure.
And if Larry told you who the buyer is,
that would be a good start. Thanks, Larry.
Right.
But anyway, so solar roof leak repair. We talked about that a bit because there's just poorly installed. It's all about flashings and sealant,
waterproofing, and common sense.
Common sense. That's going to be in the top of the list from now on.
Yeah.
And panel washing. Here's something that I see a lot. I'm on a roof and there's a
Don't bother.
There's a quarter-inch of dirt on there.
Don't bother.
Don't bother what?
Washing your panels.
Really?
Most of the time, you don't need a panel washing.
Really?
Unless you're having a wedding in
I
your
can't believe you're
backyard.
telling me this right now. I'm like in shock.
Unless you're going to have a wedding or a baby shower in the backyard and you want it to look nice for your relatives. But generally speaking, the solar system does not need to be washed. Just through the normal process of the rain, it'll produce, maybe the soil will produce, will make the system produce 2% less.
Wow. And
people will say, well, 2% is 2%. Okay, but 2% of, I don't know, let's say $1,000 a year that it's producing in electricity is nothing, right? It's like $20 or whatever it is. What are you going to pay a panel washer? Unless you're going to do it yourself, John.
Right.
Unless you're able, physically capable.
Right.
And most homeowners
are not.
They're homeowners that have solar nowadays, they're like 65, 70 years old, right?
Don't forget, most new houses are 2-story.
And then the 2-story. So what you're going to pay a service guy like me, and mind you, this is going against my interest, right? Because I make money off solar panel washing. But I'm telling you the truth. You don't need.
Well, that's good. That's
you don't
a good way
need
to
it.
Start.
But if because you pay me $150 minimum to come out, right? I got to pay the employee, I got to pay the insurance, and I got to pay the service, and so $150 to $300 depending on the house. Standard residential house, not a mansion. Mansions are different price.
Sure.
Commercials are
mansion price.
Mansion price. Yeah, because they have huge, and they have them all over the house, so you got to jump from ladder to ladder.
Out here we call them McMansions.
Yeah. So what you're going to pay for that panel wash, your savings of that year of the photovoltaic solar system is you just gave it away. You gave it from DWP or Burbank Water and Power, and you gave it to this guy.
Right.
And as a homeowner, you should ask the seller, do we have a monitoring system? Solar systems have a monitoring system that are connected to it. The monitoring system is an electronic device that communicates electrically to the solar system, and then it communicates Wi-Fi or internet to your internet of the house or via cellular chip or somehow. And what that looks for the homeowner is looks like is you got an app on your phone saying your system is working and this is how much electricity. It's got a nice little graph, and if there's a problem, it'll tell you it's a problem. So when I set up new solar systems, I know what the system should produce. I've done the engineering, so I know based off the roof pitch of your house, the direction, the brand of the panels, the inverter, you're supposed to produce X amount of electricity a year per month. If it produces less, that's a production estimate, month over month, 12 months. So if it doesn't produce that, then it alerts you. And if you live on a ranch, if you live next to your freeway, then probably within 3 years, your production alert will go up and say, hey, you're not producing as much as you should be. Then maybe it's time to wash the panels. But I say 99% of the houses don't have that problem. So
I see. Okay. All right. So 2 things. 1, you need to fix that on your website. It says, do you know that dirt, dust, smog, bird droppings, and grime will reduce your solar panel production? You don't really need it, but we'll do it for you.
We'll do it for you.
For a fee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so you just brought up something that I didn't think of before. Roof pitch.
Yes.
So do you have to mount a panel to the roof pitch, or can you angle it up higher?
You can angle it.
You can. Okay.
So a lot of homeowners that have a flat roof garage or a flat roof home.
It's technically called a low slope roof.
Low slope roof, right? It should have a slope, right? It should.
It's got a drain.
I've seen some homes that don't.
Right. The old ones don't.
They just pull up on the top.
They're just flat and just deteriorates. Yep. I agree with you.
So ideally in California, the pitch of your panels should be towards the south and at 17 degrees. So if you put your smartphone, iPhone, Android, and put it on the panel and check the degrees, it should be at 17, right?
There's a good app for that called Pitch Factor.
Yeah, there's a good app for that. And that's going to cost a little bit more, maybe $500 more for the hardware and $500 more for the labor.
I see.
But the amount of electricity you're going to gain from tilting it versus not tilting it, it's worth it.
Now, is that something you give the homeowner the option to?
Yes. Yes.
So you explain that to them.
We explain it to them
this way or this way,
and it depends on the home. If the low slope roof is on the garage in the back, they don't care and they usually want to do it. If the house is, I have had a homeowner in Culver City that had a low slope roof. The whole house was like that, and so the panels in the front he was remodeling were flat. And he's like, no, they were tilted, and you can see them from the street. So aesthetically, it's not.
That's why you want to keep them clean, man.
It looks ugly. It looks ugly,
especially if they're dirty.
Well, not even that though, because the glass was facing the opposite direction, so he was seeing the ugly
hardware,
the hardware part of it from your lawn.
Yeah. That's not
so when he remodeled it, he asked us to move them and lower them down and get them out of the way.
Right. Some people will get creative and they think it's a good idea. I've seen it with HVAC systems, like these big package units on roofs, and you can see them right from the front of the house. And they put people put fences around them on the roof.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's interesting. How'd you mount that fence?
Well, right
through the roof.
Some city,
stupid.
Some cities require that.
Yes.
Right.
And I believe that was Santa Monica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have to build a little fence around them. It's stupid.
Oh, it looked horrible, dude. Just tell them to build a pitch roof in front of it.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
That's it.
So we almost forgot about something, and that is my neighbor's roof.
The Tesla system.
So
your neighbor, I saw that pulling up. It looks, you can tell it's a Tesla roof, right?
Yep.
It's kind of glossy. It looks plasticky. It looks kind of toyish.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk on it.
I wouldn't want to walk on it. So the thing I have for, this question goes out to Elon Musk, if anyone wants to tag us.
Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil.
Okay.
How do you service those? So I'll give you some context. We at Solar Service Pros test and replace faulty solar panels from the manufacturer. So panels from 2014, 15, when there was a big solar boom, these manufacturers were just producing. There's rebates, there's money, let's push them. The people that provided the materials to these manufacturers ran out of A-grade material. This has been researched, and you can find these articles online. And so what they did is they sold them B-grade material to these manufacturers. And when they ran out of B-grade, they sold them C-grade.
Great.
They didn't tell the manufacturers. So the manufacturers really almost have no blame in this. You can't really fault them, but their suppliers of where they were getting the raw material from,
right?
They just wanted to make money. So they sold them this shitty material. So these guys made the panels. 10 years down the road, Solar Service Pros comes out and tests these panels, and they have failed. What that does is it causes the inverter error code to go up, your system to shut down, and you don't know why. You visually look at the panels and you don't understand it. Unless you're a solar professional that has the testing equipment and the experience to figure it out, you're not going to know.
Right.
So it's very possible, even with, that was a material issue. There's been some American companies that have gone out of business. They didn't have that material issue, but they just had a manufacturing issue, and the panel failed. Now, solar panel systems, older solar panel systems, are kind of like a Christmas light system. The old ones, where if one bulb burnt out,
the other one's down.
The whole string went down.
Well, the ones downstream, right?
They would fail. They would just turn off.
Right.
So that is what the older systems, string systems we call them. It's not fair to say older systems. String systems will go down.
Okay.
Modern systems, micro inverter systems, don't work that way. You don't have a big appliance on the side of your house. You have mini appliances or electronics underneath your solar panels. So if one goes down, the rest of them keep working. Or if the tree shades one of your panels, the rest of them keep working. So you minimize it.
Yeah, so they got smarter as they developed it. Yeah.
Now, the Tesla roof systems are string systems.
Oh, shit.
So now, okay, this table is...
So one shingle
goes down.
Everything after it.
And how do you know which shingle it is?
By replacing each one.
So the only way to service it, when you do, anyone that knows roofing, you start from the top down, and you have to take them all down and come down to the problem. So my first question to Elon is, how do I know which exact shingle is the problem? Because it may not look like a golf ball didn't hit my
Oh, hang on. I think Elon's calling in right now to answer that. Elon, is that you?
So how do you know which shingle it is?
Elon, I expect a phone call or an email.
Right?
Let's do this.
How do you service it?
These are good questions, and I have another good question when you're done.
So the homeowner, it's like, listen, most likely you're going to pay for it, and most likely Tesla's going to back it up. But the level of service you're going to get is poor. You're going to call a customer service agent. They're going to put in a ticket. They're going to take a while. And meanwhile, you've paid for electricity, and you're not getting it. Now you got to pay your utility company.
And you don't even know how long you weren't getting it.
Exactly. And
so is there any type of error code in the system that can tell you when it stopped?
No. Yes. If the whole unit fails, it'll tell you that it'll timestamp the time the unit failed, and from then on, it didn't produce any power. So right. I asked. I have a few friends in the industry, obviously, and one of them is an installer for those, and I told him, hey, listen, you know what I do, right? So how are you guys servicing? How can I benefit from you? How can I help you guys? What? He's like, Manny, we have no idea.
Wow.
He's like,
right from the horse's mouth.
Right from an installer. He's like, it's a pain in the ass to install, and we haven't even begun servicing them yet.
Wow. So I was out talking to my neighbor. By the way, like I said, I've only been here so long, but he's a really fun guy. We talk all the time. And he was talking about, I said, hey, I've been wanting to ask you about your solar shingles, because as a home inspector, I'm looking at houses every day, and you are the first house I've seen with these on it, but I didn't inspect it.
It's rare.
So he goes, I do have questions on it. He goes, that I can't seem to get an answer to. I go, what's that? He goes, ventilation.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I can't put roof vents through the shingles.
Right.
So I was asking the installers, how do they vent it? And nobody gave me a straight answer. And I said, well, that probably means there isn't one.
There isn't one.
So I said to him, I can only imagine that there's a gap between the roof and the bottom of those tiles. Like it's built up, in other words.
Right.
Like maybe they put down strips of wood and put like the old days of shingling with the skip sheathing.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some way to get air underneath. The way he explained it to me, what he thinks, that's what they told him, is there's air traveling between the roof decking and the roof shingles. So it's not nailed right to the roof itself. There's a gap between there. Something's built up. Here's the sheathing. Here's the bottom of the tile. There's airflow coming through. I said, okay, well, yeah, but that doesn't ventilate the attic.
No.
Not at all.
It keeps the panels cool, but...
And it's keeping all that heat in your attic. Your gable vents on your house are not going to drain your attic of heat.
Not enough.
Not even close. And he has no soffit vents.
They don't, yeah.
So that's another issue.
Yeah, it's developing technology. Just like anything else, early adopters are going to get at the brunt of it. And
that's why I didn't rush to buy an electric car.
No. Me too.
Let this stuff go by. Let him get used to
it. Let the Ford F-150 Lightning burn and crash a bit, and then I'll get the next one.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I think. It's just the technology's too new, and I just don't trust it yet.
Right.
So
it takes a while. But
I do want an electric work van. If I can get a Mercedes Metris electric version, I will most likely go buy it.
So at Solar Service Pros, we partner up with Ford, and we get Ford Transit Connects and Ford Transits. Mm-hmm. They have a electric Transit now. But, as a business owner, I think of it, that's cool. It could be a flagship kind of thing, Solar Service Pros, or,
Oh, you can market off that.
We can market off of it.
Absolutely.
But then I started thinking, okay, just practically. So I give all my employees work vehicles. So I have them spread out throughout the state. So do I pay for electric vehicles at their electric vehicle chargers for their home? What about the guys that live in an apartment? Where do they charge it?
Well, that's a good point.
And what about the guys that drive out 2 hours to Palm Springs or like out there in the desert? Where are they going to charge it?
Well, if you had a main business location with a parking lot with chargers, and they have to come to work to pick up their vans.
If you
that's
have
the only way to do it.
You have that.
Now, if you can do that
for florist, right? The local florist, the vans are there. They pick up the truck and they go. But for a service company like us, it just didn't make sense. Or contractors that have that give the employees the trucks. I mean,
no, it's not going to work for everybody.
Not going to work.
It
for
would
everyone.
work for me because I know my distance.
That's right.
No problem at all.
Yeah, and you come back to the same, and you're a homeowner, so you can install your EV charger, right?
Yeah.
So,
that
but
works.
It might work out. They don't have a Metro. Why don't you get a Transit Connect?
They have them in Europe. Transit, to me, I didn't like the van itself. I don't feel safe in that van.
Really?
Do not feel safe. I've driven all of them. I've driven the Transit, the Nissans, all of them. I'm like, that Mercedes Metris, the best.
You're expecting to get in a collision, huh? You're expecting to get in a collision.
Well, if I do, I have a good driver record.
What is it? What do you mean?
It sits up higher. You sit up higher. The Transit, you're sitting very low. Almost like you're in a go-kart.
Yes.
I didn't like that.
Connects.
I felt like if I get
T-boned, you don't need a big van. You need the miniature vans.
Yeah,
right?
I have the Metris, which is the small one. Yeah. Perfect for what I do. Perfect.
Well, I wanted to support America, and I bought American, so
Oh man! So anyway, going back to your site here, critter guard installation. Let's talk about that.
Pigeon shit. Pigeon shit is all over solar panels, and it's a problem.
Right. Okay.
So a critter guard is it's a mesh. It's a stainless steel mesh coated with an epoxy or like a paint over it.
Right.
And it goes around your solar panels, and if it's done well, it looks good, and you won't even notice it. And it keeps pigeons
from getting under it.
From getting under it.
Okay.
What they do is they go underneath your solar panels because it stays warm there, and they nest in there, and then they build a nest. They have eggs, they have little birds, and they even die under there.
Right.
And what happens if you I just had a customer in Camarillo. If you have a tile system,
roof materials are designed to repel water,
watershed,
not to hold water.
That's right.
So if there's something moist on your shingle all the time, it's going to deteriorate it and it's going to wear out. That's how that happens.
So the pigeons will nest, and that's a problem. And then what's even gross, more than that, is they start shitting all over your house because they live there. Yeah. And so then you have all this bird poop come, and then if you have kids in the backyard, I mean, I've had customers in Santa Clarita. It's a big problem. It's just feces all over the place. Yeah. Dude, it's gross.
It's nasty.
And I never thought about it. And I had customers call me, hey, you're a maintenance company. Can you come out? And we came out, and then we abate it. We'll lift the panels up. And that's a difference between us and window washers. Window washer companies will put these fences and power wash it, but they won't lift the panels up. Right. You have to lift the panels up, get the shit out. Right. We come in with PPE.
Because they're not equipped to do that.
They're not equipped to do that.
No.
So we know how to decommission it, recommission it, and put this guard up.
Right. So you do electric bill audits?
Yep.
As part of your service?
Yep. So
how does that work?
Homeowners would call us and say, I have a solar system and I have a high electric bill. Why? I never had it before.
Because I can.
Well, they have a high electric bill. That usually means the system has failed or the system is poorly designed.
Okay.
And so then we'll do the math for it. We'll look at their bill, we'll look at the system, and we'll see, okay, you have a problem here or you don't have a problem here. A lot of homeowners, they'll get solar, and the way solar is designed is based off of, like right now, if you wanted solar for your home, you haven't even been here 12 months. So I wouldn't even tell you you're a good candidate. Let's wait a year, and then we'll come back and assess. But let's say your neighbors, they've been here for a while. So I'll take a look at their bill, and I'll see how much they spend in electricity over the last 12 months. We're assuming that's how much you're going to spend in the next 12 months in the next 20 years. Mm-hmm. A lot of homeowners, once they get the solar system that's been designed for how much they were spending before, start leaving their lights on. Oh, I have solar. Fuck it. Leave it on. Right?
They change the dynamics.
They change their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So now they have a high electric bill. And then they call us and say, I was lied to. My bill is high. And then we come out and do a service. Or we would come out and do a service and say, hey, your system's fine. They're like, well, what about my bill? So then we offered a service. So let's start with your bill first. We'll do it in office. We'll take a look at it and explain to you and educate you over the phone via email of why your system is working the way it is, and you're fine.
Is that a free service?
No, we charge for it.
Okay.
It takes time for a technician in-house to kind of look over it.
What would something like that cost?
Like $150.
Okay.
And then versus a service call where you're looking at $400 to $500 to fix something.
Well, that's a great way to start.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if, as me being a homeowner with solar, if I had it besides my yard lights, if I had an actual solar system on the roof, is there something I should be doing like weekly, monthly, annually to look at my system to see if there is a problem?
So to start, if you have a monitor on your solar system and an app, look at your app. A lot of homeowners don't even look at their app. Their app will tell them your system stopped producing in January. And in September, when they get a true up or year-round reconciled bill from the utility company, they get hit with a $2,000 bill.
Oof.
So if you just look at your app that you already have, you're in good shape. Your system's working. If you don't have the app, regularly look at your utility bill and compare it to last year.
Okay.
That's the billing or financial standpoint. If you have an appliance on the side of your home, go look at it and see if there's a red light, green light. Just be familiar with it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get across to the homeowners who do have it. You don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. A lot of homeowners, when I ask them, "Do you have an inverter?" Well, what's that? I mean, you can tell me you have a $30,000 system, and you don't. It's like saying, "Have you taken a look at your engine?" Well, what's an engine? You have a car, right? You know what an engine is. But it's so new that I don't blame.
Gotcha. I got an electric car.
Yeah. Well, it's so new that I don't blame them, right?
Right.
And they were told it was maintenance free. Don't worry about it. So be familiar with the system components. And if you have any questions, call the manufacturer, call someone, call us and say, "Hey, I have a solar system," and we'll walk you through it. We don't charge for that. I say, "Okay, well, what do you go to the side of your house, follow the breaker, follow the conduit, text me a photo of the thing, and I'll tell you here's the operation manual." And you know how it's supposed to work.
What I don't understand is you mentioned inverter, you mentioned solar panels,
yeah.
You mentioned the panel. Where's the monitor at?
You won't see it. Most homeowners won't see it unless you know what you're looking for. You won't even see it.
Okay, so the monitor is what's connected to the app.
Yep.
If not, does every system have an app option?
Not every system. I say 99% of the systems today do. If you install them today or this year, they do. But the systems we're talking about from 10 years ago don't. Because installers are cheap, and they didn't want to spend $500 to $750 installing this other device, because that's money out of their pocket. If you do $750 over 100 systems, that's a lot of money.
So then people with an older system, how often should they have you come out and look at their service?
If they haven't ever looked at their system, call us, do a multi-point inspection service.
Okay.
Similar to what you do.
Yep.
Except we focus solely on the solar system. We do a multi-point inspection. We go on the roof. We check the electrical, and we educate them. We give them the warranty information, the model information, manufacturer. And
that's valuable, man.
Of course, yeah.
I love what you do.
And we tell them, okay, this is what you have.
That's
this
awesome.
is how you protect it.
Right.
And this is what to look for. And in the process, if there's something broken, we are qualified, and we'll give you a quote to fix it and bring it back up to operational standards.
That's great, man. I really like your service, and I really hope the listeners and viewers here are getting a lot out of this, because most people I talk to have absolutely no clue about their solar.
They don't know about the system.
Nobody.
So I started Solar Service Pros because I worked for an installation company, as I mentioned before, and we would get a lot of calls, and I was a general manager by the time I left there, and we would get calls and saying, this homeowner wants us to come out, this company's out of business, they need help, and the ownership from top down said, no, we don't service other people's systems. We're not going to make $5,000 off of it, so we're not going to go out there.
That's a bad business model right there.
So, I felt bad, and over time, I knew I wanted to be in the green industry because I knew solar was new. Oil industry's done. I can't come up on that. Airlines done. Trains are done. All these industries are being monopolized by titans. The green, solar energy, renewable energy industry is new. So anyone that does anything new, you have a chance at the American dream, and
it hasn't been abused yet.
Hasn't been abused yet, right? So that's why I got into solar. And then as I was in solar, I noticed people were neglecting service. So everyone wanted to be the car dealership, no one wanted to be the mechanic.
Right.
So I'm like, okay,
That's a good point, man.
So screw this. I'm gonna go be the mechanic for it. And so when I
you
opened
should
up,
change your card and put "We Other Mechanics of Solar."
so we're rebranding to We Fix Solar.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
There you go.
You know, that's what we do. Now we'll install, and some people are like, well, that's kind of contradictory because then you're gonna say you don't install. Well, we do install, but
I think solar inspections
yeah,
is a fantastic idea. I'm telling you, I'm interested in this.
that's what we do.
We need to
inspect
talk
solar.
after the show's over because I'm really interested in learning about that and becoming
and when I first started, I was scared shit. I must have been 24, 25 or somewhere around there. And I've always worked for a salary, and as a general manager of a solar company, I was making big bucks. I was good. And so now leaving and doing my own thing, I'm like, well, it's not a guaranteed thing. But thank God it worked out. People my feeling was right. People were just.
Well, that's also because you have intelligence and you have the knowledge. And you made it work, and you're driven.
Yeah,
I could tell it just by talking to you. You're driven.
People called and the same. I have a solar system. I don't know if it's working. I don't know what I have. Come check it out.
Dude, that is
so Solar Service Pros.
Right.
We
Awesome.
focus on maintenance.
Invaluable.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Right. That's a great service.
And for realtors, you don't want to be that realtor that said the house is good. You brought over inspectors, and then 2 months down the road, you find out the solar panels are never even connected. Right. So give us a call. We'll come out. We'll inspect it for your buyer. Protect your buyer and make sure they don't get screwed over.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's something I like to you put on your website as well. We specialize in making sure the home and business owners who have gone solar are getting what they paid for.
Yep.
That's great. It's another great slogan you got there. Okay. System repair, we talked about that a little bit. Monitoring system, we talked about that. Electrical issues, all right. And then roof leak repair, critter damage. Your critter guard, that's the same thing as like bird stop for a roofing system.
That's right.
Bird stop.
Bird stop. That's right.
And let's see. Cleaning. You don't need it. Let your monitor tell you if you need it.
Yeah, that's right.
Follow your monitor.
Bottom line.
That's really cool. So let's say I don't think I got the answer I was looking for on the amount of, is it annual maintenance for solar? What would you recommend for someone who doesn't have a monitor?
If you don't have a monitor, have us come out once. We'll show you what your production should be. And we'll show you how to read it with your electric meter and your bill. And then if it goes away from that, if you have a high electric bill, then give us a call.
Okay.
Right?
And then you can recommend after that to them.
After that,
we should come back yearly or whatever.
Most homeowners, if they call us the first time, we'll come out and assess it, fix the immediate problem, and then we'll recommend a monitoring solution. So listen, an average monitor is going to go anywhere between $500 to $1,500, but it's for life of the system. Mm-hmm. You set it and you're good. It's like driving a car with no check engine light, right? So you can drive without the check engine light, but when you blow the engine, it's going to cost you whatever it's going to cost you to fix it.
Right.
So invest in it, and then we can actually fix it from our office. And we don't charge you for that.
Oh,
but if we have to come out, then we're going to have to bill you a service fee.
Right. Traveling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Travel time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do re-inspections on properties, and I have to charge for that too because it's taking my time. I got to square off my schedule to fit you in there.
No one works for free.
I can't take other jobs when I'm somewhere else.
Right.
So,
That's the biggest thing.
So, this is a great episode, man. I really appreciate everything. We learned a lot about snake oil. And solar. We learned about solar today. And snake oil.
Yeah.
And PV systems. How do you pronounce that again?
Photovoltaic. It
makes me want to say prophylactic. Your prophylactic system.
That's right, your prophylactic system.
But anyway, this is good stuff. Manny, great meeting you.
I'm glad you're having me on, man.
I'm glad you're one of my customers. Once again, your website?
SolarServicePro.com. You can Google us, Solar Service Professionals. And we service all of Southern California. Everything from Antelope Valley down to San Diego, Ventura to Palm Springs. We'll help you out.
Right. So if you get solar, don't panic. Just call Manny.
That's right.
That's my slogan.
Yeah.
Buying a home, don't panic.
Don't panic. It's funny you say that because when you do buy a home, you do kind of panic.
You do panic.
You know, my personal experience, oh my God, I had so much anxiety on top of being a business owner and having my own stress of that. Now I have now I'm in escrow. So now I'm on a time crunch to make sure I'm not getting fucked. So I need someone to come over.
Did you enjoy the financial colonoscopy you got?
Seriously, right?
Yeah.
They come in, they want to see everything.
Yep.
And okay, so now you got to protect yourself and make sure the home you're buying, especially if you have no experience in buying a home, you're a first time buyer, you want someone that knows what they're doing. And John, I'll tell you, you know what you're doing.
Thank you.
My entire family, they were there that day.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, that guy, he's got a good vibe. He explained to us in layman terms what he's doing.
Right.
So then we got educated. And, okay,
I have to.
This is why he's opening the faucets at the same time. This is why he's checking that. You found things that I wouldn't have even found.
Right.
The mold coming in through the garage, the water in the sub panel.
Yeah.
Just little meticulous things that
That's right. You had water coming in the side of the garage.
As the side of the garage. And as a buyer, you're just kind of overwhelmed with the property.
Right,
and you go in there systematically and you pinpoint your 5 systems,
and that's
what you're doing.
That's the value of inspections, whether it's home, solar, or anything, because we do this for a living.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, your dad is not going to find what I'm looking for.
No. Yeah.
Just the other day, I did a home inspection, and they had an electrical inspector come out too, just an electrician, and he didn't go in the attic, and I'm like, I found a ton of problems up there, and I looked at the realtor and I said, did he go in the attic? And she goes, no, he didn't. I says, look, you need to make sure whoever you're paying for these things are going through this house. He should have went under the house. This is a 1912 house.
Right.
You got to look in the attic.
Yeah.
That's where all the shit is.
Yep.
And underneath the house, old wiring mixed with new wiring, junction boxes open everywhere. You need inspectors.
Yeah.
Because you don't do this for a living. That's what
right.
I tell people. Just give us a call. Give Manny a call. Give me a call. You got a phone number you want people to use?
Yeah. Give us a call at 866-765-7767. If you can't remember that, just Google us, Solar Service Professionals.
SolarServicePros.com.
That's right.
That's correct. Thanks, Manny. Great having you, and good luck on your new house.
All right. Bye, everybody.